This morning the sky was grey. Started out lonesome and stayed that way. Good heart and no off a long way away. Fell silent without a sound. That's the way that the world goes round. And it's one for a penny, two for the show. Everyone's waiting, not much I know. In a bar up in heaven where the angels go. This morning, my world was blue. Rattled on the road and I thought about you. Thought of my friends and my family too. And my heart broke without a sound. That's the way that the world goes round. And it's one for a penny and two for the show. Everyone's waiting, not much I know. In a bar up in heaven where the angels go. This morning, the sun rose and then the world kept turning again and again, singing your songs from beginning to end. Well, hearts break without a sound. That's the way that the world goes round. And it's one for a penny and two for the show. Everyone's waiting, not much I know. In a bar up in heaven where the angels go. This morning, the sky was grey. Started out lonesome and stayed that way. Good heart and no off a long way away. Fell silent without a sound. That's the way that the world goes round. Another platonic love song. Here it is. For the same person as well. You can all imagine. Anyway, that's why I love Beth. She knows me so well, you know. Because when I got married to Beth, I said, "Gorgeous, I'm getting married. I'm not going blind. You know, I'm going to see people. I'm going to write about. It's going to sound a little bit petty on their end, but it's nothing to do with that. It's just and she's so wonderful that way. She just takes me as that's really wonderful." So this is another song from that same gal. I owe her so much, I can't tell you. And I wrote a whole pile of songs with her as well. So that was another thing I owed her for, essentially. So, I'm going to take, again, there's so much intensity built up between you when you're writing together, especially. You talk about everything, man. And you're really, really tight for that time of period, you know. And then when it's gone, you just pass through each other's lives like shadows. You know, she's on to wonderful things, I'm on to wonderful things, all that. But for that time together, we at least had that. No more than a shadow to the shadow. That's all it was. And so I wrote this song called Two Shadows. There she was, waiting there, sun and waves on her hair. Some are dressed like a fly unfurled, and the blue shadows in the blue world. Every lane spoke to me of love and life and memory. Hearts broken and hearts filled in the blue shadows in my blue world. Close together, so far apart, across the table in the dark. Moment I remember still, always have and always will. Thought of love, how it weaves and curls through the blue shadows in my blue world. Worried mind, shoulder hard, drawn together and pulled apart. Another spin on the till tomorrow through the blue shadows in my blue world. Another spin on the till tomorrow through the blue shadows in my blue world. Thank you very much. We're going to play the same song. That should work out better. Yeah, this song, I had this great chance to go down to upstate New York and write with an absolutely brilliant writer. His name is Kieran Kane, and he's kind of the godfather of Americana music. He's the coolest guy that ever walked, to tell you the truth, and one of the finest songwriters I've ever met in my life. I was lucky enough to meet him at a festival. As I started out, the very first festival I was at, he was there. We became the fastest of friends. It was quite wonderful. He spent all his life in music, I was all my life in construction, and we hit it off like that. Anyway, he phoned me up one time, I was so thrilled. He calls me up, he usually lives in Tennessee, in Nashville, you know. But he calls me up and says, "Hey, Francie, I bought a cabin, man. I bought a cabin in upstate New York. It's just beautiful, man. You don't have to fix the roof or nothing. It's really nice, you know." He says, "Come on down, we'll start writing songs." So I did. I went down immediately. We started writing songs together. It turned into one of the nicest things I get to do. And so we usually start writing songs around 10 at night, and we work right around the clock till about 10 in the morning, and then we go to bed. You know, it's just how it is. That was it. And so one night, we finished one song, we're about to start the other one, about 3 in the morning or so. And he says to me, "You know, Francie, we're on the wrong end of the equation, pal." And I said, "What equation is that, kid?" He goes, "You know the one, man. You know the one. Time lived versus time left. You know that one." And I said, "No, I don't. I never think about that one. I don't want to think about it right now, as a matter of fact. Let's just write a song." He goes, "Okay, man, okay." We wrote the song. Of course, everything was fine. Well, you think I'd just forget that? Not a chance. It's like 5 minutes, like 6 weeks, if I had 5 minutes to myself, all I could think of, I mean it, all I could think of was time lived versus time left. You know, it was just so foreboding, you know. And so I thought, oh my God, he's right. You know, everything has gone by so quickly. My mother, when she was in her 90s, she said, "Oh, David, you have no idea how fast it's going to go." I used to say, "Oh yeah, Ma, yeah, Ma." And she was absolutely right. It's going in like a bullet, to tell you the truth. It seems like yesterday I was lying on that little rug next to Luann Hartman, 5 years old. Now I'm 71. What happened, you know? So at any rate, I thought to myself, yeah, it's true, man. My life has just been one big breath. You know, I was born and I grew, and that's my inhalation. Engaging and I'm dying, that'll be my exhalation. So I decided right there and then, But I wanted to stay in that breath between that first one and that last one as long as I can. I want to stay in the breath between. So I wrote this song about all of that, but people who have gone ahead of us, we still remember, we still keep in our hearts. And this vest I'm wearing is my grandfather's. It's older than everybody in this room, but every time I put it on, I can see it on him just like that. And it lights things up for some reason. It's that kind of thing we do for I wrote this song called The Breath Between It All. Seasons turn and bring the change, the shifting of the weather vane. Clouds turn the sunshine into rain, and cry until it shines again. Another year that's had us see, not passing into memory. Souls and hearts and voices stilled before that sun could climb the hill. We hold them close and we carry on, and the breath between the here and gone. All the hearts that kept them still, always loved and always well. And through the dark and through the night, through the shadows and the light, we hold them close and we carry on. The breath between the here and gone. The sun's returned for all to see, a world of light and memory, and smiling faces of missing friends, our music to our ears again, and all the hearts that kept them still, always hard and always well. We hold them close and we carry on, and the breath between the here and gone. Oh, we hold them close and we carry on, and the breath between the here and gone. Let's start doing this one. Yeah, that's it. This is the last one. No. It's my bad, too. It's my show, I don't know what I'm doing. That's what's happening here, man. Okay, we're not going to find anything, don't worry. That's sort of responsible for this song, too. And when I told you I would leave the job site on a Friday night, I'd race up to our house in Ennismore. And all I really wanted to do when I got there was rest up. Because I tell you, high-rise construction is not for the weak, that's for sure. In the week before I wrote this song, the first 3 days, all we did was jackhammer. We jackhammered out floors, we jackhammered out walls and everything else, just exhausting. And then for the next 2 days, we filled all that with cement. So we just wheeled cement for 8 hours a day for 3 days, Brutal work. So finally got up to the best place and I was absolutely exhausted. All I wanted to do was sit in her steps, smoke cigarettes, look up at her adoringly. And other stuff, but mostly that's all I really wanted to do, And so I was doing just that one day. I was so relaxed, sitting there in the sun, having a smoke, looking at this beautiful girl with adoration. And she was looking back at me with affection and disapproval because of the cigarette. And she says to me, David, I found this place and I really think you need to see it. And I said, oh yeah, gorgeous. Where's that at? And she says, oh, it's about 2 miles across those fields. And I was going, oh no, in my head. Of course, so what I actually said was, oh yeah, a hike. Let's go for a hike. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Here we go. So we started out on the road. The road was fine. The road turned into a laneway. That was fine too. Laneway turned into a pathway. That was alright as well. Pretty soon, no pathway, no laneway, no roadway, nothing. We're just crossing open fields into copse of the trees, into open fields, into copse of the trees, until we're so far back in the hinterland it seemed impossible. And we walk into this clearing, and everything in this song was there. It's still standing. This big red barn, I don't know what was holding that thing up. Dust must have been holding that thing up. But there it was, this big red barn. And right out in front of the barn, parked, is this Massey Harris tractor. And it's all sheen to be rusted, springing wires. And it looks for all the world. You can just put those wires back, give it a crank, and away you go. It's remarkable. The house itself, it's starting to break its back. His roof line was just starting to break, so it wasn't long for the world. But I thought to myself, oh man, this is just criminal to walk away from this, And then you don't forget you're in the middle of nowhere, right? Really in the middle of nowhere. So I walked around the back of the house, and you know what they did? They're never getting a visitor. Ever, 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 ever. Nobody came to see them out there, that's for sure. But you know what they did? They built this little picket fence around the garden. At the back. You can still see where the garden was. And it just made such an impression on me. It just made me think of, oh, they're gone. And then, oh, that's trouble, and now they're gone. And so at the time, bankers were foreclosing on family farms. For some reason, I don't know why. It seemed like a good idea to them. I thought it was a rotten, horrible idea. And so on the way home that night, I wrote this song in response to that. Anyway, the song is called Torn Screen Door. A late summer day and my love and I went walking. Over hills and fields we walked, laughing and talking. Came across an old farmhouse standing broken and bare. It used to be someone's home, now no one lives there. There's a red barn standing held together with nails and dust. And a tired old Massey Harris, all wires and rust. Weeds overgrown in the garden sown with care. It used to be someone's home, now no one lives there. And through the crack in the window pane, I hear the sound of the falling rain. Another farm being left run down. Another family moved into town. Had a life that they tried to save, but the banks took it all away. On a sign on a torn screen door, nobody lives here no more. They are their fingers to the bone, nothing left they could call their own. Packed it in under lead and skies, with just the wheat waving them goodbye. Had a life that they tried to save, but the banks took it all away. Hung a sign on a torn screen door, nobody lives here no more. Had a life that they tried to save, but the banks took it all away. Hung a sign on a torn screen Nobody loves me no more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll give you a quick anecdote about that song. When I first put that out, I used to get reams and reams of paper from schools. It was people, kids in grade 6, 5 and 6 in there somewhere. And they would listen to the song, and they would write up their favorite line of the song, and then they would illustrate it. And so it was wonderful. I used to get these things regularly. I just thrilled with them, right? And go through them. And one day, I'm going through this one from Nova Scotia. It's a picture of the bank. It's the only picture of the bank I got, you know. And I'm looking at that thinking, let's do this. So I turned around on the other side. It was just delightful. These little girls, dear David Francine, I don't think the banker in your song wanted to foreclose on the family farm. I think he was just following bank policy. Signed Amanda, the banker's daughter. You know. Isn't that something? Stick it up for mom or dad. I just love that so much, you know. Fabulous thing. Anyway, yeah. This is the part of the night where we tell you it's the last song, and we play it, and then we sort of go over there and stand for a little while. And then it looks like you're getting tired, we go racing back on the stage and do another one. So we're proposing to do something slightly different this time. That is, we'll do this song for you, which is our last song. And you can clap or not if you like. You can vote for the door as well, that's optional. But if you do, just keep clapping, and then we'll just do another song as the encore. Is that all right? We'll see you vaulting over to Mark. So my goodness, good. Thanks, guys, so very much. And we'll leave you this song as look at the set list. Not too many happy songs for that set list, but this is a happy song. So we're going to end up with a happy song. I wrote this song when I moved to Quebec. I moved to Quebec and Toronto to a dirt road in Quebec, and that was it. I learned one thing: you can't buy cigarettes after 9 o'clock at night. I did learn that, but at any rate. Lonesome Road, it's called Under Bunker Road. There's Bunker Mountain, there's Under Bunker Road. And so I bought this house for $13,000. It was a 3-bedroom house with 3 3/4 acres, a little bit of an orchard. I was building houses at the time, that's what I was doing down there. And so I bought the house intending to work on it after I finished working for the day. But we had a term for those houses that I just bought. We used it all the time. The term we used for that kind of house was a dump. Absolute dump. Stay away. Don't buy this house when I bought it. Anyway, it was a wrecker. So what I did was, the first thing I did was I built this big giant deck on the back. It was 14 by 12, 14 feet off the ground. Absolutely great. I built a picnic table so I had somewhere to sit out there. I did all of that because I didn't want to spend one extra minute in that house that I just bought, you know? So I'd come home from work and I'd go straight to work in the house, and I'd work till 9 o'clock at night. And I'd get down tools, and that'd be it. I'm gutting the thing right out, right down to the studs, you know? And so I thought, go out on the deck, have a little relaxation. So I go out on the deck for a smoke, I'm looking around, and it's just, you know, not much to see most nights, but at least it was quiet and everything else. But this one night, I walked out, and honest to God, man, there was a crowded sky, absolutely crowded. It was like every star that could have been there was there and present, you know? It was just stunning, to tell you the truth. Stunning is the only word I have for it. So I walked out, I look at this, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted at the beauty of it. I'm going, holy smokes, David. That's the firmament, man. That's all the firmament. That is something else. So we've looked at that, we crawled out of the ooze. It's the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. Today I'm saying to myself, wow, it's heaven itself. It's like heaven itself I'm looking at. What an incredible thing. But I'm a typical human, and 10 minutes later, I'm looking at that exact same scene, and I'm thinking to myself, yep, there's the firmament, all right, yep. heaven itself, really. I wish something would move. You know, I'm looking at the front, I'm looking at heaven itself, and I'm already complaining. I'm a typical idiot human, you know. It's not good enough to have the whole universe in front of you. I just want something to move now, you know. And then right on cue, though, get this is the best part. Right on cue, over Bunker Mountain, comes this little satellite. I'd never seen a satellite in my life. I lived in Toronto, never saw a satellite. And then all of a sudden I saw this little satellite. I was wild with excitement. Wild. I just couldn't believe there was this little spark of us up there. I couldn't believe it. I just went, oh, look at that. I watched it all the way till it petered out in the far horizon. And it came over every night. So every night I'd be watching for it. And it became like my pal, you know. And it could have been have anthrax on it. I don't know. No idea, but I liked it, you know. I thought to myself, you know, that thing is up there. It's just like me, you know. It's up there in heaven itself. All it really has to do is turn around and look. And it's going to see the entire firmament, all space, heaven itself. And what's it doing? It's going around the world like this, looking straight down at the ground all the time. Never looked at all that beauty all around it. I thought to myself, that's how I walk through life. I'm so miserable, morbid all the time. I'm looking at the dark on the ground and watching the enemy instead of all the beauty around me. So it was a good wake-up call for me. That little satellite woke me up to some beauty in the world, and I wrote this song about it. I call the song Satellite. Here we go, guys. Thanks for everything tonight. It's just been a lot. Thank you. We didn't thank at the beginning, we didn't thank our soundman Carl. Soundman Carl, thank you so much for everything. And the ever gracious Steve as well. I'm so pleased to see him again. I'm so pleased to be playing for him again. Anytime you want me to play live, I'll play for you, that's for sure. Because guys like that, it gives us all somewhere to go to. Without him, we're all at home. Us included. So I'm a big fan of Steve, believe me, all the stuff these guys do. And you know, a great bunch of volunteers as well that keep all these clubs going. And just a special shout out to Roddy, my pal. I mean, I just can't thank him enough for all he's done for all of us folk musicians. It's great to see him still at it, still has got his hand in the wheel, so that's a lovely thing. Right hand side, this is all the way from Abbotsford, the pride of Abbotsford. And high up all the way from Inverary, Ontario. Look that one up on the map. He's my great, great friend on my left-hand side. That's Mr. Chris Murphy. Here we go. Thanks, everybody. You're the best. Heavy load, and the firmament is fixed and still above the dark of Bunker Hill. On and on the twinkling of the lights, watching for a satellite, and the shooting stars go way too fast, and they burn so bright, they never last. Across the sky, from east to west, on along the train and on the lights, watching for a satellite. On along the train and on the lights, watching for a satellite. Stars, set it tight and distance far, and from horizon's edge of light, a spark of mad and lonely flight. from a satellite. I recognize that lonely light reflected from a satellite. Oh, there we go. I was happy. It was true. It was a happy song. No question about it. Now we're gonna get sad. Maybe that song is a song I wrote a long while ago for two women I don't love, but they really needed a love song. So I was at, you know, and so I wrote this song for them. I met them in the most awkward way possible, to tell you the truth. I was still in construction. I had one record made. It was a full-time construction worker, and I'd done nothing with it. And some friends and I were playing in a club in Lennoxville, Quebec. And you're good. I remember that morning or that day, I was tarring a foundation. It was really cold out for some reason, but the heaters on and we're tarring a foundation. So it's not the nicest job in the world. So I thought, I don't want to go all the way back to my house and all the way back into town to see my friends play in this little club. And so I said, oh, I'll just sit by the door, you know, stay out of the way, everybody, sit by the door and catch my friends play. So that's exactly what I did. And then before my friends got on to play, on this little 10-foot stage, a 10-piece soul band with horns got on the stage. It was incredible. I just thought, oh my, what are we in for? It was fabulous. They were absolutely great, and they were fronted by these two girls. They were all students at Bishop's University. They called themselves Wintersmall. And these two girls fronted this band, and they were sensational singing together. I just loved their voices like crazy. I really wanted to sing with them. But I felt, you know, very, very old around them. They were university students. I was already 45, you know. And so as the night went on, I felt older and older, to tell you the truth. And by the end of the night, I felt like Methuselah's older brother, is what I felt like. And how much older could I possibly be than these girls? But I was desperate to sing with them. And they got up to leave, and they'd had a great session, a really nice night. And they were talking together, you know, just lovely on their way out the door, until the tar-covered lunatic by the door leapt out of his seat, threw his hands down on both their shoulders and said, "Excuse me," and I scared them witless, you know. And seeing their faces, their eyes went this big all of a sudden. And I realized what I'd done. I went, oh, my name's David Francie, I'm not a pervert, and this is my album. And if you want to sing with me, the number's on the box. I had to yell that because they were running away from me. It's embarrassing to tell you that, but that's exactly what they were doing. I'd scared them, you know, and I thought to myself, oh my God, what have I done, you know? And so all I could see was their arms pumping like streetlights. And every so often it flashed in the CD. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, oh David, what have I done? Oh. And then so I went home and I told Beth what I did. And she said, oh David, what did you do? You know, and I said, oh, I panicked, gorgeous. They were so young, I didn't even know how to approach them. I said, well, there's a CD we'll never see again. And two women who may or may not press charges, I don't know. So I'm going to bed, so I went to bed. Saturday morning I woke up, right bummed out. Phone rings about 9 o'clock. I pick it up, hello, I hear, are you David Francie? And I said, yes I am. And he said, well, you're rather odd, but your CD's good, and we'd like to sing with you in a neutral place. Scout's honor. That's exactly what he said. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, what a hash I made of being. I said, I'm not nearly as weird as I seem, you know. I said, bring your friends, and you name the place. So they named Bishop University. And they brought their friends, who were all 6 foot plus males, as it turns out. And we talked for like 5 minutes or less, and all of a sudden those guys were gone, and we were just starting to sing together. And it was a wonderful, wonderful meeting of the minds. It was just a wonderful thing. So anyway, we practiced every Tuesday. And then one Tuesday they were late for the practice, and they finally showed up. And I said, "Oh, girls, where you been?" And they said, "Oh, David, we were coming down the hill, and we were a little bit ahead of time, so we nipped into the old folks' home, and we played a few tunes on the piano for the old folks to sing them some songs." I said, "Oh, that's cool, and that's a gig's a gig, no problem." They go, "Oh, it's not a gig, it's just something we did." You know, we're like doing that every now and again. And I'm thinking to them, I'm looking at them, you know, I'm thinking to myself, "Man, oh man, I'm really going to appreciate people like that in a couple of years." I'm in Windy Acres and they show up, I'm going to be really glad to see them, you know. And so I asked them, "Has anyone written you a love song?" And no one had. And I said, "I'll write you a love song for next week." And they said, "All right." And I said, "All right." And I wrote it. Went away, wrote the song, came back. Sat down and played it for them. And they said, "Oh, that's beautiful, thank you." And I said, no, thank you." And they said, no, thank you." Because we're Canadian, that went on for 10 minutes. And somebody said, "What are you going to call the song, David?" I said, "I'm going to call it Lucky Man, Girls." And they said, "Oh." And then I said, "That's beautiful, thank you." And I said, no, thank you." And away it went again. And somebody finally broke the horrible cycle of politeness and said, "Why are you going to call it that, David?" And I said, "Oh, girls," I said, "that's very easy." I said, "Whoever ends up with you, one of you is going to be a very lucky man." And they went, "Oh." And I couldn't help myself. I said, "Mind you, if you ended up with both of you, you'd be an amazingly lucky man." And they laughed their heads off, you know. And that was 25 years ago, and I've not missed singing with those girls in 1 year in 25 years. The first ones on the bus, you don't want to kick them off, that's for sure. So anyway, they made me feel like a very lucky man. I wrote the song for them, no question about it. I think I was the winner on that one. Anyway, the song is called Lucky Man. You made us feel like that today, that's for sure. And many, many thanks for everything you've shown us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Awesome. I saw you first in the smoky cafe light when I came in from the frozen winter night, and I saw a face that put the stars to shame. I loved you before I ever knew your name, and my heart sank, lost without a trace. Oh, and it's a lucky man that gets to kiss your face. And I've seen you shine in the summer, spring and fall, but it's winter when I love you best of all. And I've seen you in the spotlight hard and bright, I've seen you in the shadows of the night. When I see you coming, I can feel the cold heart race. Oh, and it's a lucky man that gets to kiss your face. And I heard the joy that echoed off the walls. And I realized when all is said and done, that youth is never wasted on the young. And I don't believe the silence of this place. Oh, and it's a lucky man that gets to kiss your face. And I don't believe the silence of this place. Oh, and it's a lucky man that gets to kiss your face.
Thank you very much. Thank you.